Okay, you guys. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Allie Frazier. I am a double diamond with It Works, and I'm just so excited to do this training for you because last month was just insane. There were so many promotions. There were so many just amazing things happening. Even if you didn't, promote, there was so much growth in our paychecks. And you guys, I know that when I started, and most people will tell you this about when they started, Diamond was like a big deal, okay? And you guys, for me personally, I wanted Diamond because I wanted the paycheck, but I was so fired up by all my haters that I wanted to go Diamond just so I could tell people I made 4 figures from my phone. Like, to this day, like, that is what drove me so that I could officially say, like, I make a full-time income. And so that is a lot of what pushed me, but then I got to Diamond, unlocked the compensation plan, and understood fully why they say diamonds have the license to print money, you guys. We were just talking about cabs, which is part of the compensation plan that you unlock when you go diamond. And it is just those cabs on top of those commissions, on top of those bonuses. It's just insane, you guys. So you guys know that I can talk, so I'm going to try not to talk as much as I usually do. And I'm going to let these girls tell, a little bit about themselves. We're going to try and keep this to 5 to 8 minutes per person because I know they're listen, you guys, we like to talk and, we like to share our stories, and you guys are going to hear from people that have come from all different backgrounds, have been through all different types of things, are different ages, have different, seasons of their lives going on, have been in this business for, 2+ years, have been in this business for 8 months. You're just going to hear so many inspiring stories. And then they're going to give you guys some tips about how they got to diamond and above. So I asked them all. It's going to be the same question. So I'm not going to really repeat them. They're just going to kind of go off these questions. But I'm going to ask them, why did they join? Why and when did they join? How long did it take them to promote to diamond and above? What made them decide they were all in and decide to fight for diamond and above? Because everybody on this Zoom is going to tell you diamond and above does not fall into your lap. And the number one tip for promoting to diamond and above, you guys. So if you're ready to take your business to a whole nother level, I can't believe whole nother level. I feel like I should do it like with the hands like Mark does. If you guys are ready to go diamond and above, if these are the people that you want to listen to, you should be taking notes. You should be jotting down little things that you should have pages, okay? Because you're going to hear that much good advice from these ladies. So I am going to start with Christine, and I'm going to try and find her. Okay. Christine, I'm going to unmute you, okay? Hey! Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Let me see if I can find
So, rule number 1 is, hi! Can you hear me? Yes.
Oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me change.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you guys hear her?
Hey! I was just going to say, I don't have much express. So, this is just going to be like a glimpse into my life.
I'm trying to find her. Oh.
Hello.
Hey.
I can hear you. I can see you. Are you there?
You're breaking up a little bit, and I don't want you to start talking and then.
My baby's crying. It's fine.
All right, hold on, you guys. I'm going to. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me see.
Can you see me?
I can't see you, but I can hear. Oh. Technical difficulties. All right, hold on. I'm going to let Christine. I know she was out on the lake, so I don't know if she just has bad service, but we're going to skip her and go to Allie, and then we'll get back to Christine. I know that she has good stuff to say, so I don't want it to break up and us not be able to hear her. So let me find Allie really quick. All right, Allie, I'm unmuting you. Hey, girlfriend.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm like, I'm so excited for you.
I'm so excited too. It still
Okay.
doesn't seem real.
So tell us, when did you join and why?
So I joined last May. I really didn't have like a good reason why to start. I kind of just started for fun. I'd been a loyal customer before. And the first time I heard about the wraps was like years ago in high school. My mom was trying the wrap. I'm like, Mom, there's no way that works. That's so stupid. And then it really did. So I was like, oh, wow. And then I kind of forgot about it. And she still ordered stuff every once in a while. And she got the greens all the time. So I took greens to school in college. And I was a cheerleader and a sorority, nursing major. So I was like super busy. And I started taking the greens. And I was like, oh, my gosh, these are awesome. So eventually, Caitlin Hoffman's my enroller. We went to high school together, and we were just laughing actually because like the last thing before It Works that we talked about, it was like in 2012, and she told me to have a good life, and now here we are. So yeah, Caitlin and I, we've been friends forever, but I actually unfollowed her on Facebook, unfollowed her on Instagram. I'm like, man, she's so annoying, but somehow I would always end up following her back. So I started with the Fat Fighters with her, and then eventually she was just like, well, since you like the products, do you want to be a distributor? And I was like, sure, let's do it. I started like the day before I graduated nursing school, and I honestly didn't really need the extra money at the time. I was fine. I was about to start my big girl job. I just kind of did it for fun because I liked the products. So the first like 4 months, I was just kind of doing it for fun. I was like, oh, whatever. And I was signing customers. I signed like 12 customers my first month. And then in 4 months, I promoted to Ruby. And I still had no idea what I was doing. I was just like going with it. I was like, woohoo, this is fun. I just remember saying that to Caitlin like every day. I'm like, this is so fun. I don't know why I thought it was like the funnest thing in the world.
Because it is.
It really is. Then after that, I kind of just started doing it for fun again. I wasn't really working like it was a job. Until this January, I was like, okay, I'm going to promote to Emerald before conference. And I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because then the Emerald bonus came out. I got the Emerald bonus in March when they extended it, and then went Diamond in June.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. That's crazy. And I love that you added that, like, you unfollowed Caitlin, because I know that there are people, especially the newer distributors that come in, and they're like, they get really nervous. And I'm like, listen, if someone is meant to be in your business, they can unfollow you 12 times. Like, they will be in your business if they're meant to be. So I'm glad that you talked about that. Okay. So let's really quick, what made you decide that you were going to go all in? And you said you were going to go Emerald before conference, and you didn't. So what happened? Was it your mindset what happened there? And how did you bounce back from not hitting a goal on your timeline and then propel yourself to Diamond to get the bonus?
I don't think I really like truly understood anything about charting until I was going Emerald like that month. So I was just like, I was signing people and placing people, but I just it didn't click with me until then. So I think that's why I didn't promote. I wish I had it up in here. I made this huge ass, like 3-foot by 2-foot whiteboard of an Emerald chart. And I had that up there, and still I didn't even know what to do with it. So I just think I just didn't really get that. I've watched the videos. I've talked to Caitlin and been one-on-one, but it just never really clicked with me. And I was just like, oh, whatever. Because I was just still kind of doing it for fun at that point.
Right.
I didn't really, like I said, I still didn't even need the extra money. Oh, a big part that I forgot is in February, right after conference, I found out I was pregnant. So that's when I was like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it was after I went Emerald and I saw that first $1,000 paycheck, I was like, oh shit, I can do this. Like, this is cool. Like, I can do this. And then finding out I was pregnant, I was like, okay, I already hate working full time. I love my job. I work as a nurse, and I like do fun baby stuff. I work postpartum. So it is fun. I love my job, but I hate working full time. So I'm like, if I already hate working full time now, I can't imagine what it's going to be like trying to work full time with a newborn. Like, that's just going to suck. So
did you just say that you went Diamond working full time and being pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Just everybody just wanted you guys to clarify that she did it. It's possible.
And my schedule is crazy. Like I work 3/12s, but all year up until like this past month, it was like back and forth days and nights. So it was horrible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it was all crazy.
So you decided you were all in. You knew that now you have a baby on the way. And I preach, and I always preach to my team that like, we say that your why has to be strong. And sometimes I think that people just kind of brush that off. Like, oh, I have a strong why. Like, it's my kid. But I know that when your why is to put food in your fridge because you're literally living off of ramen, like you are more self-disciplined when you have something that has, like, there's not an option that it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So, okay. So my question for you, my last question for you is number one tip for promoting to Diamond and above. Like if you could go back and talk to yourself in January, you know, as a Ruby, what would you tell yourself?
It was really hard to pick just one thing, but something that I did different when I promoted. So when I went Emerald, I like decided the last day of March that I was like, okay, or it was like 2 days. It was like the 28th or whatever. I was like, I'm going to go Emerald this month. And I had like 2,000 in volume to fill. So I literally locked myself in my room for 48 hours and was on my phone for 48 hours straight and filled 2,000 in volume in 2 days.
Yeah.
So what I did different after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to work a little bit each day. And I would work each day. But I would set aside time just for it work. So like this past month in the mornings, I'd wake up and try to go to Starbucks or Panera or even just sit down at the table or do whatever. But setting aside time, because we all think we can multitask, but we can't. If you're trying to sit there and watch Netflix or watch TV or do this and that, you're going to get distracted. So just like time blocking. And I use Google Keep. I know lots of people have different like little checklists, but let me see if I can pull it up. I use Google Keep, and you probably can't see, but it just has like a little checklist that you can do. So in that hour block or 2 hour block, I would try to get at least like 60 to 70% of my checklist stuff done. Cause then the rest of the day I was like, okay, I can send out 10 messages here, 10 messages here. I do a lot of my stuff in the morning because then I feel like the rest of the day, it's easier to get the rest of your stuff done. If I hold off until evening, a lot of times I'm like, well, now I'm never going to get anything done. So I kind of just give up until the next day. So setting aside special time and getting stuff done in the morning and then just filling the rest of your day with replying to people and doing your posts and all that stuff.
That's so good. I was talking to Casey, who's a Diamond also, and we were talking about how there's a difference between working your business and you can crush, like you can work really hard, but working really hard and working intentionally are two totally different things. And I think, like you said, like we like to think we can multitask, you know, and I can get out 100 messages in between doing a bunch of things. But is my heart and my head, my heart and my head, like, is it focused on what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, am I really intentionally talking to these people and answering them and, you know, not just giving them some like one-worded hair, skin, and nails is great, but like, am I honestly investing my time into sealing the deal, into gaining potentials, I'm so glad you talked about that because it's true. And I think a lot of people, we come in and we say, you know, you can work this business 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and you can. But if you want to get massive results that are going to push you to a paycheck that is a full-time income, you do have to set aside 1 to 2 hours a day to just work your business and just pour into your business. So that was so good. Thank you, Allie, and congratulations. I'm so excited for you. On to double now.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Thank you. Okay, you guys, who do we have next? Erica Frazier. Do you say your last name like I say my last name? Do we say them the same?
Yeah.
Oh, we do? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Oh my gosh. Hey, how you doing, girl?
Hey.
Look at you. Are you in your new apartment? You guys, Erica has a new apartment. She has her dream apartment with a pool. It's really nice. I see pictures all over Facebook. It's awesome. Okay, so Erica, when did you join and why?
Okay, so I joined in January 2016, and I was working 40 hours a week, and I was a single mom, so I was basically living paycheck to paycheck, and I was just looking for, a couple extra $100 a month, just like to help between paydays. So I joined in January. Oh, wait, hold up. So first, I talked to Haley about the business, and I was kind of like scared to try it because I had been involved in another network marketing company and I didn't succeed. So I was like, okay, I got to try the products first. So I tried the hair, skin, and nails, and I texted her one day and I was like, girl, these ain't working. And she's like, send me your after picture. So I sent her my after picture and it was like bomb AF. So I signed up that night because I was just so excited. So I joined in January and I went Ruby my second month and I got the $1,000 bonus. And then I think I went Emerald my fourth month. So I didn't go Diamond until basically 2 years later. I think in the beginning, I just wasn't like really serious and passionate about it and didn't see the vision like I do now. So, yeah, what was the next question?
No, I'm glad that you said that though. So you went Ruby and Emerald in 4 months and then hung out with Emerald for 2 years. And then something clicked. And I know that at the end of April, you pushed really, really hard in April and were like this stinking close, right? And it didn't happen.
Yeah. It was at the end of May.
And I think that is insane because then the next month is when he offered the diamond bonus, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, I'm telling you, God works in mysterious ways. God and Mark are like on the same page. Okay. So how long? Oh, we already covered that. What made you decide now?
Okay. So I got pregnant with my second child at the end of the end of 2016, I got pregnant. So after that, I got fired to go to conference. So I didn't have a job. And then when I tried to get a job, I couldn't because I was pregnant. No one would hire me. So I guess that time is when I basically was like, okay, I need to do this full time because I don't want to miss out like all of Raleigh's first, like all of her memories and all of her milestones like I did with my first daughter. So I think that's when I got like really serious about it. So she was born in August 2017. I was still like enrolling and stuff like that, but I don't think I was still like really serious until like the beginning of this year. Me and her dad had split up in October. So I had to move back in with my mom, and having 2 kids living with your mom, that is not fun.
I can't imagine.
So I went to conference, I was really excited then, but it wasn't until the end of May. So at the end of May, I got my rank back Emerald for the first time in 2 years. And I think that was like the defining moment when I was like, okay, I can really do this. Because I ended the month like 960 away from Diamond, I think. So I think at that time I was just like, I can do this. I'm worthy of this. And I know what it takes to get to Diamond. So I guess that's the time that I was just all in.
That is so good. And your story is one that, and I know that I have some young mothers on my team, but your story, and literally it's so, don't take this like creepy, but the picture of you in your high school graduation gown with your baby on the hip, like talk about some empowerment, like, and watching your story unfold, and you getting this new apartment and all of your posts that are like, you did this by yourself. You know what I mean? For you and for your girls. Like, I don't know. I don't have kids, but I'm covered in goosebumps because I was raised by a single mom. And I know that is something that having the freedom to go and get your own apartment is just, it literally, I'm going to start crying. So moving on. Number 1 tip for promoting to Diamond and above. If you could tell yourself, 6 months ago, what would you tell yourself?
Literally, like, it's all mindset and just, like, taking massive action. I know, like, a lot of leaders were like, it's all mindset. And I'm like, that's silly, So, like, in May, that's when I, like, went, like, 100% all in. And I started saying my affirmations every day. I started having a positive mindset. So, like, at the end of June, it was on the 25th when all auto ships ran. I had a projected volume needing, like, 7 something for Diamond. And on the 25th, I needed 2,400. And I had a freak out moment, but I like got in the right mindset, and I was like, I am too close to not let this happen. So like if I was not in the right mindset, I would not have made that happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, that is so good.
Yeah. So definitely just mindset and taking massive action to make it happen.
And when you do your affirmations, how do you, like, do you have like a certain like routine, or is it just something like, how do you do them?
Yeah, I have a certain like paragraph I say every single day. And like I always say, when I don't know the way, I will find a way. And like on the 25th, I did not know the way, but I just found a way and made it happen.
Oh, I've got goosebumps. I'm thinking about, I think I'm assuming that you and Haley probably have the same type affirmations. And she was reading hers on our way to Florida, and y'all, we were bawling, like, good affirmations. That is so good. And I think that it is completely true. You're right. And I know that, you know, last month I was trying to get Matt to diamond, and I honestly felt like I went diamond before, and it felt exactly the same. I felt like I was going diamond again. And there were moments that if I wasn't in the right mindset, I probably would have been like, I'll just try again next month. This is too, like, I don't think it's going to happen, you know? And the crazy part is everybody's telling you, you can do it. You're going to make it happen. You're so close. And you're like, yeah. And you're like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but you made it happen. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Erica, and congratulations. And I know that your double is like next month. So this month.
Thank you.
You're getting the big bonus. Okay, bye. Let me see. Where's my girl, Asia? Turn down for what? Hold on, girl. I'm unmuting you. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Oh, the baby. Oh. And you're another one that literally popped a baby out, and then it was like, I'm promoting two at the same time.
I literally can't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell us, when did you join and why?
Okay. My name's Asia Stone. I'm a double diamond with it. I joined in May of 2015, and I literally like joined on a whim. I needed an extra $333 a month for my car payment because my mom was paying it for me so that my car didn't get repossessed. Thanks, Mom. So I joined for that. I joined in the middle, towards the end of May. In July, I promoted to Ruby, got a $1,000 bonus for going Ruby, paid off 2 credit cards. And then I just hung out at Ruby for a while. I met my now husband the same month that I went Ruby. We moved in together after a month. I took on 3 stepkids. And that December, 2 weeks before Christmas, I got let go of the salon that I was working at. And I was really stressed out because if anyone on here does hair, like, you know that right after Christmas is super slow time in the salon. So I was like, dude, like, I'm so screwed. Like, I'm not going to be able to build up a book. Like, this sucks. And Jamie, who's my husband, was like, just go all in with It Works. He's like, sign me up as a distributor and, like, just start building me and, like, let's see what we can do. So I was like, all right. So I signed him up in December, promoted him to executive that month. The following month in January, I promoted him to Ruby and I went Emerald. And then 2 months later in March, I promoted him to Emerald and me to Diamond, earned $22,000 in double good bonuses. And yeah, so that was like my journey to Diamond. Pretty much it was like, I lost my job and it was like, all right, shit, or get off the pot. Pretty much like either I'm going to go try to find another salon job or I'm going to just like make this work. So I just kind of made it work. And then I know you wanted me to talk about this. After I went Diamond, I slowed down. So I got super comfy with my checks. I had these bonuses in my checks. I was like, oh, this is cushy. Like, I'm good. And like 4 months later, I lost rank. Like, didn't even drop to Emerald, dropped right from Diamond down to Ruby. And that was rough. I lost my bonus. You know, I went from I was making like $4,000 a month between me and my husband's checks. And I dropped down to making like barely $400 a month. So I was like, hung out at Ruby for a while, like stopped commission qualifying Jay. Like I wasn't even running his auto ship. And then Mark came out with the Christmas cash, and it was like, get 4 customers and get $100 in Christmas cash. And I was like, dude, like I need to get back into this. So I got out a new chart and was like, I need to rechart. Like I need to just start over fresh. So I got a brand new chart. I had like 3 people on it. None of them were the people that got me to Diamond besides Jay. And I just started enrolling distributors. We went to conference that year, it was the end of January, beginning of February, 2016 or 2017. Couldn't afford it. Put it on a bunch of credit cards, went down there, stayed at this ghetto ass hotel. We did. We stayed at this ghetto hotel with free breakfast. It was like $300 for the whole weekend. And we went down there, and actually that January, right before we left for conference, I got Emerald back. And then I was like, all right, no more of this crap. Like I got to just like get it together. I can't do this anymore. We came home from conference, and I was like, all right, game on. And that month I got Diamond back, and I have not lost rank since. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of like rebuilding. I mean, 2 years that right? No, that was 2017. So over a good year, I was maintaining Diamond and like not even looking at my double chart. And then I got pregnant with my son.
It's so crazy that you're like holding a baby. I'm just like, that's her baby.
Last summer. And like I knew that like I've been wanting to go double, but I'm like, how am I gonna do it? And last year I enrolled this rock star. She went Diamond a few months ago. Oh, you think that's funny? And she went Diamond a few months ago, and I'm like, all right, like now's my time to go double. So I just started really working with my Emerald, and the month that Mark announced the double bonus was the month that I was having him. And I messaged Jaden. I was like, I'm going to go double this month while I have a baby. And then it was like, that was a joke, because I literally like don't think I enrolled anybody in that month. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, no, actually I enrolled a few distributors. Like I definitely didn't even fill out my steps to success. I'm like, whatever. So on June 1st, Mark extended the bonuses, and I was like, I'm doing it. And I got out the Emerald chart, and I was like, all right, we need 2 distributors and like 3,700 in volume. And I just like got with each of the girls on the chart, and I was like, all right, like you're promoting this month. And I literally just like went back to the basics, really. Like I think we overcomplicate things sometimes, but literally all I did was just message. I was posting stories like a psycho. But I enrolled so many customers from my stories, and I've never had people message me about my stories before. I was literally posting stories like a psycho. I was putting up like 3 or 4 posts a day. Normally I only post like 1 or 2, and I was messaging. So I was reaching out to like 100 new people every day, because I'm so scared to get blocked. And I was like, I can't get blocked from messaging when I'm trying to promote. So I kept it to like 100 new people between my 3 Instagram accounts, and then unsend resends. Mm-hmm. So I was just unsending and resending messages to people that I talked to forever ago. Jamie was messaging. He has like 5,000 friends on Facebook. He was messaging everyone on Facebook for host to post.
Go Jamie.
He got me a 154 BV order on the spot from a host to post. Okay.
Shout out to the hubby.
He like just finished messaging the A's for host to post.
Hey.
So he's taken over that, because like I don't do Facebook. But literally it was just like putting in the action, just being like, okay, like I need to enroll. And just like I set a goal, like this is what I'm doing. And then, you know, we got down to like the wire. It was like the last day of the month, and we needed like 700 BV, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm like too close to not promote. Like we have to make this happen. And we did. I was up on Zoom with my Emerald like up until the last minute, and right at the end of the night we both like randomly got these 2 LCs, and then it was like game on, and we just like did it, and it was nuts. It was so crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Yes.
Literally just like message, like, you guys know what to do. If you're on the Zoom right now, you know what to do. You're plugging into trainings, like, you know what you're supposed to be doing. What we do is so easy. And like, I can say for sure, like, I know one of the girls that was just on here was talking about how she like is pregnant or whatever. I was home for 2 years with no kids. Like, our older kids are in school. I took for granted the time that I did not have a child at home with me. And I could be ambassador by now if I didn't take that time for granted. And like, it's just crazy. But like, at the same time, like, he totally, like, having him is like, I saw my prelims today and I'm like, that's amazing. But like, I want more for my team. Like, I'm ready to pop another diamond this month. Like, I'm ready to start building a 3rd leg. Like, I'm just like, I just want more. I want more for my team. I want more for our family. So it's like, no slowing down.
So I have one last question for you, because I have a couple of rubies that promoted last month and an emerald, and they've all come to me within this past week, and they're like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, well, yeah, you just pushed for like a really, like, even ruby and emerald are really big promotions.
Emerald is a really hard promotion because you're literally building a whole nother leg.
Yeah. And
Emerald
so
was one of the hardest promotions.
yeah. And so my question to you is, because I can fully admit that that's exactly what happened after I went double, is I was like, I could literally stay double the rest of my life and like live a really good life. Like, I could live a better life than I've been living. And so like, and I was tired, and I was tired from pushing to get there. And I made the mistake of being like, oh, I'm good. It's fine. I'm waiting for my team. Diamonds are just gonna pop everywhere. And like,
Yeah, no.
So what are you gonna do different this time from when you went? I mean, I know that you said that you're hungry and that you have a different why, but how did you like, see it change in eSuite and then be like, okay, but now I want triple and I need to get back to work?
Pretty much it's just like being consistent. Like, I know what I need to do on a daily basis. It's just not being lazy and holding myself accountable is really what it comes down to. It's like, you either work your business or you don't. Jade posted in Diamond's chat last month, or maybe the month before, and I printed it out and hung it up on my board, but it says, hi, newsflash, you and the BS you tell yourself is the only thing getting in the way and actually stopping you from reaching that next level. And it's so true. Mm-hmm. It's so true. And she said another thing to me last month. I was like, dude, like, how did you go ambassador with a baby? And she's like, girl, like, your baby's not even a problem right now. Like, you just put him on your boob and work. And I'm like, so true. And she's like, do you want to look at him and say, because of you, I pushed really hard and promoted? Or you want to look at him and say, because of you, I didn't do it? And it's like, yep, preach.
Yep.
So it's pretty much just like being consistent. I just know what I need to do every day. I need to post every day. I need to message every day. I need to check in with my team. Like, it's just what it is. And, I think like we'll push really, really hard for like a huge promotion and then slow down. But it's like, if you're just working consistently, doing the same thing every day, like Sarah, I mean, she's going to talk, but she consistently does the same thing every day. Like, what she's doing right now is no different than what she did the month she went diamond or the month she went emerald. Like, she's just consistent with her tasks every day. Yep. I think that's like the biggest thing is like just staying consistent. Who are you talking to? Just staying consistent, that's like the biggest tip. And personal develop like a mofo. Yeah. I was like, all last month was like personal develop all day, every day.
Yeah. No, I totally, that was so good. And I'm so excited for you because I know, I get it. And it's just, I'm so excited for you. And it has been a long time coming, but I think that made it even more enjoyable, I am sure, once it happened.
For sure.
Thank you, Asia. Thank you, Nash, even though he's sleeping. Oh my gosh.
He's not. He's fussing.
He's just like.
Here, just look at him because he's just like cute.
Oh my gosh, look at his face, y'all.
He looks just like me.
Oh,
We're twins.
oh my gosh, look at his eyes. Oh, the baby fever is real.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no kids, not until
Go ambassador first.
I know, seriously. I need to keep telling myself that. Okay, thank you, Asia. All right, you guys. I'm going to bring Christine. Let me see if I can find her. She got on some Wi-Fi, so I think we're good now. Okay, let's try this. Are you out there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hey, girl. Oh, hey.
I got my baby too.
Oh, my gosh. All the babies, y'all.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. Okay, so tell me, when did you join and why?
Okay, I actually wrote down the questions because my memory, you know.
I figured you would. You strike me as someone who
shoot.
write them down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a lister. Okay, so your first question was why? I joined for $200 because Sarah offered me the opportunity. Sarah Neerman is my enroller. She messaged me random on Instagram. I was like, why is this girl loving all up on my stuff? Who is this girl? And I started reading her posts, and she was pregnant. And I had just had my second baby. He was 9 months old, I think, when I joined. And I was miserable. Full-time mama of two, full-time interior designer, 50-plus hours a week, 50-plus grand in debt just for education, another 100 for the house, the car, the credit cards, Target, you know.
Target.
I could not afford to buy myself a cleanse. And I said, you know what? This is bullshit. I work my ass off, and I can't afford to buy a $36 product. Hi. I'm using the bedroom. Thanks. I'm at the friend's house. I couldn't afford to buy the cleanse. So I said, she's like, well, why don't you just join my team? Like, your page is beautiful. I was, like, addicted to social media. And I was like, you're not real. No. So I said, you're not real. No. I put her off, and I said, you know what? I don't really need it. You know how we do that to ourselves. I have a good job. My husband has a good job. We're fine. And I was lying through my teeth. And then she did her follow-up, I think once, and I grilled her for probably 3 hours. I asked her every question, including I said, I don't trust you. I don't trust you, but I have to. So I signed up, and sorry, I was not going to cry. I signed up, and I bought my kit and the cleanse, and that was like a F you to my past kind of moment where I was like, I can't afford this, but I'm doing it. And I'm really glad we had a gentle winter because that was my tire money. I live in Pennsylvania. I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, right off the lake. We get hammered. We've got the record this year, like hammered nonstop. Thankfully, last February, 2017, I joined right after conference without even knowing that. So I was part of her boom season. And I just joined, and it was February 15th because it was right after Valentine's Day. My husband told me I was an idiot the day after Valentine's Day. And I promise you, I will be the only ambassador on stage whose husband is not on their team. My husband is not on my team. I do not get 2 paychecks. I still went diamond, and you can too.
That's so good. I'm glad you said that. I'm just glad that you said that because
everyone does it, and I couldn't.
They do.
My husband's
I can tell you right now, there's been a lot of not controversy, but there's been a lot of talk on the Diamond Q&As previous to you being welcome to the team because you're building a second business, and it's hard to build 2 businesses at once. So for all of you guys out there that are like, I mean, it's different for everybody, but don't think that like signing your husband up and building him, like she just said. Like, it's not required. Like, it's just, don't worry about it if you're not worried about it. So, okay.
Yep, don't worry about it. And I worried about it for a long time, and I told myself I couldn't do it unless he joined. And joke's on you, babe, because I'm about to outmake you. Whatever. So my husband's a police officer. He is, like, they call him protocol and procedure. He is by the book. If you don't clock in and clock out, you don't count.
Really?
Well, newsflash, I just got fired.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished up my 12 weeks of maternity leave, and my employer, who previously said I could take an extended maternity leave, I wanted the summer off with my kindergartner, he changed his mind. And they said on the July 3rd, they messaged me or emailed me and said, if you're not to work on Thursday, the 5th, you no longer have a job. And feel free to reach out to us when you're available in September to reapply for your job. We cannot guarantee your pay. We cannot guarantee your schedule. We cannot guarantee your position. And basically, after 5 years, I got a big F you because I had a baby. Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad I did get my shit together. Excuse me, Jade. But it took me a long time. And I tell people, you know, don't look at my journey as, oh my God, it's going to take me, let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15 months, 14 months to go diamond. No. Mm-hmm. I enrolled February 15th. By the 25th of March, I was executive. I was in the 400 club before February was even up. My first paycheck was almost $80, mm-hmm. which that was huge for me. That paid my phone bill, you know? And I could show my husband cash and he still poo-pooed it. Every time I showed him $100, he still poo-pooed it. I did it anyway. By May 25th, I was a Ruby in Disney World. My family and I went to Disney World, and I was able to help pay for it. And with my career, all my income went to daycare and paid the utilities and my student loans. And then it was gone. Maybe some groceries. So his income is what was our savings, what put the roof on the house, what paid off things, you know, what turned into vacations. And he really takes pride in that because he does make good money. But I hate it so much. I just hate it so much. And I don't know, I just want my own stuff.
Yeah.
So we went to Disney World. I was not allowed to post thank you, it works, because he said that's a lie. So I would buy like my kids' Dippin' Dots and post thank you, it works. I would pay for an upgrade on our hotel and say thanks to it works. I would tip the bellboy, you know, and I was just digging for ways to just throw money so I could own some of our vacation. You know what I mean?
I just want to interrupt you really quick because first of all, like, I'm crying over here because we are like so much the same person. But like people are
Let me just move forward. I'm sorry.
Well, and people are like, well, I'm only making a $50 paycheck. Listen, you can break 50 up
whatever
10 ways. You can break 50 up, 20 ways and $5. Go buy a bunch of $5 stuff. Yep. What you said, I was digging. That is what it takes to get to diamond, is to dig, is to take a picture of your Dippin' Dots and say, look at what It Works did for my family. That is being so committed to making this work that you just figure it the freak out. Oh my gosh, love that.
Yep.
Okay, keep going.
So I sat at Ruby through the whole $10 deal. I enrolled 10 people. I got hella fast starts. I might also be one of the only ambassadors on my team whose biggest promoting legs are $10 deal girls, because I dug into them and we have become the best friends. It's just been amazing. And I was super jealous of them because I spent another $89, but like 3 months prior. But I was a Ruby all the way down to, I never went back to distributor, but executive Ruby all summer. Not completing my steps of success, trying to figure out how the heck to lead people. I could enroll people, but leading, I was like, I can't do that. I don't, like, I'm not even completing my steps to success. How can I teach her how to do it? And if I can't teach her how to do it, I might as well just quit. So my mind was like crazy in the gutter. Sarah could go on for like a year about that. So could Lauren and other people. So it took me rebuilding my chart several times, losing, unfortunately, quite a few friends, and just really digging in, you know, running with the people who wanted it and teaching them what I knew, and like even learning from them. Like, I learned from my Emerald leader and my Ruby leaders daily. They come up with stuff to send to our chats, and it's crazy. But anyway, September 2017, I went Emerald, and I enrolled 20-something customers, no distributors because my chart was full. 20-something customers, and I swear I just like tapped everything, but I forgot to like add more people. I forgot that part. So when Christmas Cash came around, I had no one to talk to, and I'd enrolled everybody in my head. So I kind of sat back and like went, like, that's not fair. Everyone's making money, and I'm back here. I already tapped all my trees. I went Emerald too soon. I enrolled too many customers too soon. Like, how negative was I? I got like maybe $200 in Christmas Cash. I used that to pay for my conference ticket. I just decided we were going to conference. I rented the Airbnb. I used my car. You know, we did all this stuff. Also in September, I went part-time at work. I was making enough, even being just a bad leader, to supplement my income. I found out I was pregnant with Myra, who's cooing in the background, and I still went part-time. I was like, that's fine. This is it. I'm a lifer. I can do this. I just have to, like, get my shit together. And I bought us a third-row Kia because I was going to have 3 car seats, and that don't fit in a Nissan Versa. So also bought myself a Kia, and I told myself all I had to make really was enough for my car payment. That was $400. And as an Emerald, my first paycheck was like $398. And I was like, yes! I was so excited. And I could show my husband that. And I do a lot of like, in your face. He doesn't believe in them. Then I sat at Emerald, down to Ruby, Executive Ruby, Emerald, you know, back and forth until after conference. I wasted conference. I went there like, this is going to change me. This is going to be everything. And I was open to it. And I enjoyed the whole weekend, and I had so much fun with the people I went with. And we drove down there from Pennsylvania, and I was 7 months pregnant, okay?
Insane.
I made the most of it. And for some reason, my head switched when they announced those bonuses, and there was a bonus for going Emerald. And I said to myself, why did you go Emerald in September? Like, what the hell, right? I've been an Emerald since September, and I'm regretting that because of a little, what was it, $5,000? And I saw all these people around me going Emerald, and I was so negative. Like, Sarah stopped talking to me. Jade stopped talking to me. Like, everyone stopped talking to me. But my team, and I figured out how to be a really good leader, and I was all over YouTube trying to figure out just how to fix my head. And I ended up getting 3 girls on my team to Ruby while I was blocked. I'm just going to own it. I was blocked by my friends. And I said, no. Jade did it with no one. I can be more like Jade. I can be a good person. I can be positive for my team, and I can help them. And if I can help them, then I'll go, you know? So I got 3 girls on my team to Ruby, and that means executives, and there was 400 boxes, and I was completing my steps to success, and I got Emerald back. And it was huge. And then Sarah messaged me, and she said, I'm proud of you. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And when Jade goes live and says, you don't have to deal with those people that are negative on your team, I was that person. I was that person who was blowing up her phone asking her to tell me I was worth it, asking her to tell me that she loved me, asking her to tell me I was important on her chart. And why I needed that was because I didn't believe in me, because I was she doesn't like when I cry. I was relying on my husband for approval and validation. And I just found myself in those moments. And I got Emerald back. And I really dug in with my leaders. And we became the best of friends. And some of them don't even know that all happened. Because even when you get kicked out of things, there's a lot of respect. And nobody went smearing my name, which was really nice. I appreciate that, all of you. But so we're in February. I get Emerald back. March and April, I rebuild my chart with my leaders. They keep promoting. And I have rubies under rubies under rubies. And I'm like, the reason why I'm not diamond is me. It's me. So I said, F it. 0 bonus. I'm doing it for me. And I was about to have Myra. So I had Myra April 12th. I missed diamond by, I don't even know, maybe 2,000. It was bull. May I went diamond. And when they say it's all mindset, it is so much mindset in keto coffee, it's ridiculous. And I wasn't going to tell you half of that, but I just decided to just...
Girl, no, I'm sitting here, like, making notes. All right, I need to, like, when I get home from Massachusetts, we're going to do a Zoom on unsupported spouses. We're going to do a Zoom on what happens when your mind is in the gutter. Like, we could do, like, 7 Zooms just from your story. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way that, like, you have to, like, first of all, when people say if you're meant to be in this business, you're going to be in this business and you're going to figure it out. The other thing is that through everything that you were just saying, it was mindset. It is. And at the end of the day, it's really harsh, for us as uplines to tell our downlines this, and I'm sure that, Sarah, if she did say it, she tried to say it the nicest way possible. But if you're not willing to work on your mindset and you're just throwing pity parties all the time, your business isn't going to get anywhere. And we don't mean that because we don't want that for you. We don't mean that because we don't think you deserve it. We mean that because if your mindset is not, if you're not making a conscious effort to have a positive mindset and grow your mindset every day, you are going to do circles. And you know that now, right?
Oh, God, absolutely. And I wasn't doing my team any help, any justice. And I mean, basically for 2 months, I was lying to them. I mean, not lying to them. I love you all. I'd never lie to you, but I didn't want you to see me like that. And I was being the person I wanted to be so badly. I just had to be it for long enough that I believed it. And I do now. And I'm so much closer with God, and I'm so much closer with myself. I'm so close with my team. And I just love them all so much. And a lot of my promoting leaders are local. We all have kids. We get together. We have fun. We have like boy mom dates, and I'm a boy mom with a little girl, so it's fine. But I can tell you, there is just a certain point where you just decide to do it. And when I went diamond in May and June 2nd,
Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but we are going to move on to the next story, just because it's already been an hour and we have a couple more girls to go. So you guys, we're going to do a Zoom with Christine when I get home from vacation, because I want to get her on a Zoom, because I do want to do a Zoom about unsupportive spouses. And yeah. So, Christine, if you can still hear me, I don't know if you're on or if it kicked you off, or I don't know what my computer's doing. I'm sorry. All right. Where's my girl, Kayla? Hold on, Kayla, I have to find you. Okay, found you. I'm muting you. Hey, girl.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
This is
How are
so
you?
fun. I'm so excited. Okay, so hi guys, my name is Kayla Holtzclaw. I'm a diamond leader with It Works, and this is my first Diamond Above streaming. I can't even. It still gives me the nervous, but it's okay. So I joined in March of 2017 after an argument with my husband in the kitchen about buying diapers with a credit card because my butt wanted to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom for my rainbow baby, but he was already working like 65 hours a week, and we just still weren't making or cutting the bills. And next thing you know, I messaged some girl on Instagram because I didn't want to work night shifts. And I didn't want to do a part-time job. I couldn't be away from my kid because financially we couldn't afford daycare. So this was it. And it took me 11 months to go diamond. I would say that probably my longest sitting rank was Ruby, and that's just because people quit, but I won't go too far into depth into that. I went to conference in February, and I came home it wasn't like I went there and I was energized, and I was in this room filled with so many like-minded people and passionate and just driven and excited to move on to the next thing. And I got home and I looked at my chart again, and the biggest how are you going to do it hit me in the face. And I literally sat in bed for like 3 days, like pity. And it was mindset. You want to know what changed it? So what changed it for me, the whole game, okay? So I talked to my upline, and this was my upline had probably been going back and forth with me on mindset for a long time, but this was the worst it had been. And my husband can attest to this too. And he was kind of surprised, like we both were. I went and had this amazing, beautiful time, and I came back to this small little town that I'm in where nobody believes in me and nobody even knows what It Works is. And they think that this is a joke, and all of these things just start to limit me. So I look side to side, and I'm like, okay, now I start telling myself I can't do it because I don't go live on Facebook as often as Ali Frazier. I can't do it because I'm talking to Sarah Neerman and she always knows what to say. You know what I mean? Like I just started telling myself this stuff every single chance I could, and it was just dumb. I stopped doing the basics, and I told my upline, and I was like, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated. I don't know, like it looks so far away. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. And Jade Hooper messaged me with a personality quiz. And I don't even know if she knows it, but that's what triggered everything. That's what switched everything. So I took this quiz, and to a T, it matched my personality. I came up with something called an ENF, or the campaigner. You can even take the quiz in the Black Diamonds page. But it made me all in because I just needed to figure out who I was in this business. I kept looking left and I kept looking right, and I kept saying, this person who joined before me or after me was doing bigger and better things than me, but that's their journey. I had to be their journey, and I couldn't keep telling myself that, me having a past where I struggled, I didn't have a great childhood. I have a close family member who struggles with alcoholism, so it's a constant struggle there personally, and a lot of my mindset stuff has nothing to do with It Works. It's stuff that happened when in my 20s when I had a bad abusive relationship, and now I'm telling myself I can't make 4 figures a month from my phone because I dated some jerk off from high school. It's dumb. It's just stupid stuff I put in my head. And I took this thing, and it told me my strengths and my weaknesses, and I used them. I used them to my advantage. I printed it out. So my weaknesses, I really zoned in on those. Not being good with follow-throughs. So that meant I'm not good with follow-ups. I kept losing people through the cracks. So now I self-discipline myself to make sure I follow up on Fridays, and I follow up every single day. So if I've got a hot conversation, I keep that going every single day until I can. Like, I don't care if I'm like popping up saying hi. I'm your friendly stalker. Like, this is where it's at. It means your business and your support means a lot. So this is what I'm going to do for it. I overthink, I'm emotional, and I'm difficult to focus. So like, these are all things that I am now aware of. And now that I'm aware of them, I can kind of know when it's happening and switch the game for myself so that that I don't sit in bed for 4 days and just hurt my business some more. Does that make sense? So my number one tip for when you're going diamond, like I was doing the basic things. I was messaging, following up, adding friends every single day, posting. Like, there was not a single day in my business that went by, even if I didn't feel like it, even if I just had a really excuse my language, bad day, and somebody said no and kept saying no, or somebody was mean or rude, whatever. I did what I had to do, but I didn't believe that I could push myself a little hotter to get to the next level. And everything clicked, and I messaged my heart out. I ended up signing like 8 Fit 30s in 4 days from Host to Post, y'all. Host to Post have been I pray to God, whoever came up with that idea, like, it is the bomb. And I've been doing it ever since, and my team is killing it with it. So that's what happened. I went diamond that month, and just to be able to come back and be like, I know where I was. I didn't think I could do this at all. I didn't think I could just get to the extra mile, and I did it in less than 30 days. I did it in less than 30 days, and that just shows like anything is possible. Like, you just gotta focus, zoom in on what you have your mind and your heart set to, and just go after it and do what we were telling you to do, the basics: message, follow up, add friends, post, and just put your heart into it.
That is so good. And it's something that I, over the past couple of years, have read different books, because network marketing as a whole, not just our company, but like network marketing really fascinates me. It really does. And in almost every single network marketing book, I'm talking books that were written back in the 70s when people are still going door to door selling stuff, talk about how one of the biggest things that you could ever do to benefit your business is to ask for referrals. Do you know what the Host to Post is? It's just one big, hey, can you help me out and send some of your friends my way? So it's not something that just, you know what I mean? For us, we feel like all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, okay, get up as many Host to Post. Host to Post have been working for years. It just wasn't on Facebook because they didn't have Facebook back then. But like, Host to Post is changing the game, and it's because it's the fastest way to reach the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time. It's smart. And you guys, really quick, I just want to touch on the fact that Kayla did not, sorry, the dog's growling. Kayla did not take a test and spend 7 months writing down all of her weaknesses and then be like, okay, I've got my weaknesses. Why am I not diamond yet? I can tell you, homegirl probably sat down for a day, made some notes about the test, was like, okay, this is what I need to work on, and then started pushing. And as she was pushing, she started working on it. And I hate to break it to you, but I see it all the time, just on the page and by different people commenting different things. Personality tests are important. It changed the game for Kayla, but she did not.
It didn't like give me the answers. Yeah, it was just, I needed to push myself. I needed to get over myself, quite frankly. And after that, I had to keep saying the mantra, I know who I am, I know what I believe, and that's all that matters, because we get so caught up in what everybody else is thinking. I was scared to message for Host to Post because I was like, oh my God, people are going to keep seeing my posts in their feed, and I'm scared of what they're going to say or think. When really, if you actually think about it, you want people to keep seeing that, and it works. Who cares what anybody else has to say?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was so good. Well, congratulations. I mean,
thanks.
I already
going double now.
Like VIP. I don't know. You have this way about you, and you're wise with your words. And it is just something that I forget. I was with Hope, and Hope was about to fly out to California, and you were sending her voice messages, and I was listening, and I was like, who is that? And she's like, oh, it's Kayla. And I was like, you just sounded just like so just confident and sure of yourself. And it was just, you
just made my day. I know exactly when you're talking about too.
Okay. Thank you, Kayla, so much.
No.
Okay, you guys, we are moving along to, Erica, are you ready? Are you ready? All right, I'm unmuting you. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Whoa. This is so exciting. Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
Hey guys. So I'm Erica, the second one you're meeting tonight. So that's fun, and I'm super excited that our names are spelled the same. So Erica Frazier, we're best friends now. I joined February 18th, 2017, 3 days after Christine. I met Sarah Neerman, who is also my enroller. She followed me on Instagram, January 30th. I remember this because I messaged her the same night. I accepted her follow request. I stalked her page. I asked her a million questions, and then I signed up when I got my tax return like 2 weeks later. But I really wanted to join, and I joined because me and my fiance were trying to be a single income family. Our son was almost 6 months old when I met Sarah, and up until like January, we were just kind of living in these like smoke and mirrors that everything was fine. Like, the whole house could be on fire and we'd be sitting there like everything's fine. So then January came around and we were like, this isn't working. We are emptying our change jar like every week just to get like a small ass pack of diapers to last us until payday so we can get maybe like a slightly bigger pack of diapers. Like it was bad. Like,
yeah.
Once we stopped lying to ourselves and telling ourselves we were okay, we were like, oh my God, like what are we doing? So my option was to go get a job. However, we had no car. Both of our cars had crapped out within 6 months of each other. And because we had no money, we couldn't get a second one, or we couldn't get another car. And A, no car. B, I didn't have a whole lot of experience because I worked retail for a year. I worked in childcare during my 1 year at college. And I worked in restaurants during the summers when I was in high school. So I didn't really have I didn't have a lot of experience in one thing. I kind of was like a Jill of all trades. But I applied for so many jobs on like Indeed and all that good stuff. I was applying online because I couldn't go out and apply because I couldn't get anywhere. Well, actually, if we had to go somewhere, we were Ubering, which obviously started to rack up, and it did not help our situation at all. Like we Ubered to Brandon's doctor's appointments. It was yikes. Sorry, I'm like comfort eating also because whatever. I'm like obsessed with Reese's right now. So we were like really struggling, like big time struggle bus, and this girl, this random girl on Instagram, Sarah, just followed me on Instagram. I stalked her page. I don't care, Kayla, that it's not keto. I don't. I need my peanut butter cups. Yeah, Kayla's like my best friend, so. She's actually a big part of, in a second. But so I had applied for all these jobs. I wasn't getting called back. And every time I thought about getting a job, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to leave Brandon. Like, it was breaking my heart. So I said, okay, Sarah, I'm going to join, but my fiance won't let me use any of his money. So I got to wait 2 weeks while I get my tax return. She messaged me every day for 2 weeks until I got my tax return. And I was like, every morning I was waking up, I was like, did I get my tax return yet? And the money for my tax return was supposed to be used for my credit card. I still paid off a decent chunk, and then it all came back because I haven't paid any yet. Whoops. Like, it was bad. So I took that 99 and I joined. And then it took me, it took me 10 months to go Ruby. And then it took me another 6. June is month 6. Okay. And then it took me another 6 to go Diamond. Fun fact, when I went Ruby, it was a double promotion. I went executive right after Christmas and then Ruby on New Year's Eve. And then I just skipped right over Emerald and just went straight to Diamond last month, like 12:30, 11:30 Central Time. Sarah was like I had been like obsessively refreshing for like a good half hour, and so then like 11:30 Central Time, Sarah's like, refresh, and then it happened. So I think that was month 17 of my business, or 16 or 17, I don't remember.
That's so crazy. I remember you texting me, like giving me updates, and then you were like,
yeah,
73, and I was like,
last day of the month it was 73.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, so what is your number one tip for promoting to Diamond? Like, what was different from when you went Ruby? Because, I mean, you double promoted and then double promoted. So, like, what was different when you went executive to Ruby from when you skipped Emerald to get to Diamond? Like, what was one thing?
I know I sound like a broken record because it's been said a lot today, but mindset is, like, the best thing you can do. So I flooded myself with all my goals. My goals are written down like everywhere. My phone, let me go ahead and, nope. Okay. Hold on. Okay, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't know how to work my phone. It's fine. I've only had it okay. So it says, I am double Diamond, July 2018. I claimed my rank and the month. So last month it said I am Diamond, June 2018. My Apple Watch says I am double Diamond, July 2018. My binder with all my business stuff has all my goals right here. It's for 2018, but it's still claiming it. I see it every day. It's like ingrained in my brain. So I take every morning, I wake up, or in June, I woke up at like 6:30 or 7 every morning, and I woke up, made my keto coffee, sat down with You Are a Badass, and read for like half an hour or until Brandon woke up, like however long I could I started out my day in the right mindset, and I was not all like sunshine and rainbows for June. Kayla can attest, I had like several like meltdowns, and like Kayla and Sarah can both attest to this. I had several pep talks from them. But now that it's like another, like just the hugest thing I think for me was you can cry for 60 seconds. You can let yourself have that minute where you freak out and think you might not do it. But then after that 60 seconds, you got to turn that shit off. Mm-hmm. And you got to just go, because you're not going to get where you want to go if you're busy having a pity party. Mm-hmm. That was like really the biggest thing I think for me, is because I pretty much struggled to keep Ruby like every month for the past 6 months. I was like, oh my God, I have to have this much under this person to keep Ruby. And then I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, yeah. So it really took like, I was just like, oh my God, like if I'm struggling to keep Ruby every month, how can I ever get higher? And then of course I wanted to get the Emerald bonus in February. I missed that. But then of course I went Diamond and earned the $7,500 bonus. Aiming for double this month, but triple by our family vacation, which is August 23rd. So
do it. Just do it.
Doing it.
Just happen. Yeah. No, girl, thank you. Like that was so good. And I appreciate you. And I'm so excited that you did it, because we knew that you could. Like I knew you could. I know
everyone else knew I could. It just took me knowing I could.
You had to know you could.
Happen.
You guys, thank you, Erica. Really quick, kind of, I was telling the story, but I was on a work Zoom, and like I just said, last month I pushed really hard, and Matt promoted to Diamond, and I was on a work Zoom with my team, and I had, how on Zoom, like on your computer, I was on eSuite. I forgot that I was on Zoom because there was only 2 of them on there, and I saw eSuite, and I saw how much I needed at the end of the month, and I just started bawling. And I called Matt up in the middle of the day, and I was like, and I had one of those moments where I literally was like, and then realized that I was also still on Zoom with 2 of my downlines who literally just saw me cry harder than I had in a really long time. It's normal to have promotion emotions. It is what you do after that cry sesh that you have that determines what the outcome is. So I'm glad that you talked about that, because that is a normal part of promoting. I honestly, truly, I've never been pregnant, but one day I'm going to get pregnant just so I can tell y'all that the emotions and the like when you're pregnant, it's kind of the same. I've never had a kid, but okay. Moving on up. My girl, Catherine, let me find her. Catherine just went a Diamond. Oh, there she is. Let me unmute her. Hey, girl.
Hey, I'm
Oh, look at you. The new Diamond. I'm so excited. Okay.
pregnant lady, but it's okay.
So tell me, when did you join and why?
So I joined like the last week of December of 2017, but I just like to say I joined in January because I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't work, and like I would talk to my upline, but I'd be like, haha, okay, like 10 girls a day is what I'll do. I didn't have a why until like I saw what like this was doing for my upline and like for you and like all these people on these Facebook videos. I'm like, are they like famous? Like this is like so crazy. I would always tell myself like I'm gonna be on with like Allie or Jay one day, but I didn't have a why until kind of recently. But I also had told myself like I want to do this for my nieces and my nephews, like those are my kids, and my sisters have been through a lot and they are still going through a lot, and I don't like. My oldest sister is 20 years older than me, and she asks me for money all the time for her kids, and I'm like, who the hell do you think I am? I'm in college. I pay my own bills. Like, so that's my why.
So you just joined, like, wait a minute, like 6 months ago?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we all know now that it took her, what, five, was it 5 or 6? 6 months to get to Diamond?
So when my upline found me, I was going through a lot of stuff. I had just dropped out of my sorority for, like personal reasons. I felt like I was letting a lot of people down. And I was like emotionally like dead inside. Like I cried myself to sleep every night because of just stuff that I was going through. And I would like text Danielle, like that's her name. I'd be like, I don't know if I can do this. Like I just have so much going on. Da da da. And I was so negative. Like every no, I was like, oh my God, like you're over here getting this like big ass paycheck, and I'm always gonna be at the bottom. Like I will never be Diamond, whatever that means. I didn't even know like what the rankings were until like 2 months ago. Honestly, like I didn't get it. I think that's the blonde in me.
That's that is just like crazy, because I think that like you hear these stories, and I know for me, people are like, oh my God, it took you 14 months to go Diamond. And I was like, it took me every single day of those 14 months to get to Diamond. That was my journey. Like that was just part of what I had to go through. And then there are people that go Diamond in 6 months. And for me, people that go Diamond in 6 months are those people that inspire us to know that it is possible. And, just because everybody doesn't go Diamond in 6 months doesn't mean that it can't be done. And so that is so cool. And I just think that it's so important that everybody on this page has different people to look up to. And I mean, Diamond does not fall in your lap. So that's just so crazy. Okay. So I know you kind of just said about like, but what was the turning part where you were like, I'm all in, like, this is like, because you're fairly new. So when did you decide that like, I'm ready to be a crazy rap girl,
So I actually, honestly, February and March, like whenever that emerald or ruby bonus was, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work, and I'm like, haha, what the hell am I telling myself? Like, I didn't, and I was so mad when I didn't work, and I texted my upline, and I was like, okay, like, this is it. Like, every month I would say this is it, and you know, it wasn't it. And just this past month, there's been a lot with like my family, my sisters and my nephews, like I said, and I was like, I am so tired of like I'm not gonna provide for my grown ass sister, but I was just so tired of like having to like watch my nephews and nieces like kind of like grow up, you know, the way they are.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of hit me. And my mom is still helping my 2 older sisters when they have their own families, and she has to provide for me. And I grew up, it was just me and her.
Yeah.
Because my sisters thought they could do whatever they wanted to do and not have consequences. She got remarried, so my stepdad helped, but it just hit me that like I just turned 19, so I want to be able to provide for myself, move out when I can, so I'm not quote unquote a burden to my mom, even though I know she didn't see me that way. But I'm so uptight and anal with like money and like making sure everything's gonna be there for me. So
that is so, oh my, I'm just like, I don't know. I just think that is the coolest thing. And I mean, I like to think about like, if I had found this business when I was 19, but I also feel like if I had found this business when I was 19, I wouldn't even have known what to do with it because I was not. And that goes into part of your journey. You know what I mean? Talking about your sisters and your nieces and nephews, like you've gone through things that have made you kind of grow up and realize that like, okay, this is my plan. Like, do I want to fund my sister's life? No. But do I want to be able to take my nieces and nephews to Disney World and not worry about paying for plane tickets? Yes. So that is so cool. Okay. So number 1 tip for promoting to Diamond, like what is the one thing that you're like, you have to do this?
Personally, because of all the stuff that I was going through, it was definitely mindset. If you would have met me 6 months ago, you would have walked in the room, looked at me, just my whole like aura or whatever that's called, like my vibe, you'd be like, get out of here. I like can't even explain it to you. It's definitely mindset for me. Finding time, because like I have a part-time job now, but I'm trying to get out of it.
I'm trying to quit.
Like won't let me leave, and I'm like, no, I hate you.
Running away.
Yeah, just finding time and, you know, getting over your BS excuses, saying, well, I have to do this today, so I can't do this, or oh, I forgot, or it's all about how badly you want it and how much you want to help other people. That's what it was. Another thing for me, because I'm like a health and fitness gym junkie whore, so
yeah. No, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And I think like one day, this is on my to-do list for my business, I'm going to go to a college and I'm just going to like slip in the cafeteria one day and just like go up to different people and be like, hey, do you not want to be broke? I can help you. Because
in our union all the time, and I'm like, I'm going to get one of those one day. I don't know how the hell to do it, but I'm going to be like, can I like set my stuff?
Yes. I'm telling you, for our age, especially, I mean, I'm sure you see it on Instagram. I'm like, if you put half the effort you put into your Instagram right now into like a business, like, do you know how much money you could be making with your 17,000 followers? But okay, like
people my age are so pressed with like you know all that. I do want to say another thing for me was I went to a conference. There was one in my hometown in Toledo, Ohio. I went to a conference, and I thank God for the girl who told me that it was even in my town. But that kind of like opened my eyes that night. I was like, I can't even explain it. It's not green carpet, but it's like a self-development kind of event. So it was definitely something I was grateful for.
I'm so glad you touched on that, because events are big for understanding that like there are people like you that like are doing the same thing. And
the youngest person in the room, I felt so awkward, but I just like talked to people next to me like they were my best friend. I was like,
yeah. No, I'm so excited for you. I know that double is literally right around the corner. I know that you are just on fire. You are ignorance on fire. And, you know, we were talking in the chat, and I think that is like Asia was saying, just don't slow down. You have nothing to be afraid of. Nobody on here has anything to be afraid of if you don't slow down. It's when you look at your paychecks and you're like, I'm just going to take like a month or two off because I'm tired. Like, just don't slow down. Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Okay. Who am I? This one's going to make me cry, you guys. Oh, I don't even know if I can unmute you. It's going to happen. Hi, Princess.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I'm
ready?
Rowan. I'm a diamond leader with It Works. I think that's like the first time I'm saying it out loud.
She like already knows what to do. She's like, oh.
So I got started a year ago, and I kind of just joined because it was my best friend's cousin, and she's like, look, you're just helping me out. And I was like, okay, like, sure. And it was during like the $10 deal. So I was like, $10, like, I can go spend that like at the street, like getting candy. Like, it's fine, no worries. And I was added to like this group chat, like my whole team, and it was just craziness. I was like, what is happening? Like, did I just join like a cult or something like that? Like, what is this? And I remember it was like this girl, Laura, kept texting me, and she's like, hi, how are you? And she's like trying to be all friendly with me. I was like, who is this chick? Like, we're all in this like crazy little thing together. Like, nobody knows what's happening. Like, why is she pretending like she knows what is going on? And yeah, like, and then I found out it was the Laura Floyd, and I was like, I texted my enroller. I was like, why didn't you tell me it was Laura Floyd? And she's like, oh, yeah. So, like, she quit, and then I was like on my own. So I didn't start enrolling until January, which like was when I first signed my like first distributor, and I guess it's like when I first started working, and it was like crazy. So I had like no reason to join. I kind of just joined for fun, but I truly think like this business like came into my life like at a great time, because like I didn't know my depression was gonna come back and like hit me like God knows what. I didn't know like my parents' separation was gonna leave me like my 2 savings accounts like stripped for money because my mom's like a terrible person. I didn't know like I would just have like a terrible like first experience with college, and I'd be crying all the time, and just life was like terrible. Like I didn't know like all these crazy things were gonna happen, but like because of his business, like I knew I would be okay. Like I kept saying, I'm like, It Works has got me, like this is fine, I'm gonna keep going. I was only making like maybe an extra like $50 a month, but I was still like, yeah, take a gas, woohoo. And yeah, like it's just, I don't know how I got here. Like I'm just here and life's fine.
Oh, you literally. Oh, it's funny that you say that, because I remember the first family call I got on, and me and Matt listened to it, and after I hung up, I was like, I think I just joined a call. Like I literally said the same
like,
thing.
I hit it for my boyfriend. Like I texted him as soon as I signed up, and I was like, we gotta talk. And he worked like right down the road from me. He's like, okay, I'm taking my lunch break now. Like, what's up? And I was like, so I did a thing. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I joined this company. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm just joined. He's like, okay, like, it's fine. I'm like, oh, you're not mad? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, life's fine.
Live your life. That is so crazy. Okay, so, how long did it take you to promote to Diamond?
A full year. And it was a lot of hard work. Like I signed my first distributor in January, and then from then on, like I felt like the ball was finally rolling, and then life was good. And then like 2 to 3 months ago, like my biggest like enroller, she like just quit out of the blue, nothing. So I had like a whole Ruby leg that I had stacked up, gone, disappeared. Nobody was working. All my top lines weren't working, and I was like, well, where am I gonna go? Like, what is happening? Like, I don't know what's going on. And like I pulled off Diamond. Like at the beginning of the month, I was like 5,000 away, and I was like, this isn't happening. It's not. It's fine. Like I just kept telling myself, I'm like, I'm gonna miss the bonus. Laura's gonna be pissed at me. Like everyone's gonna hate me. It's fine. And it took me up until the 25th. Like I kept saying, no matter how much like the volume was decreasing, I'm like, it's still not gonna happen. Like I'm like 2,000 away. Like there's no way I can pull that in. Like I went from enrolling 3 customers in April, and I was like, there's no way I can sign like over like 30 people. And I ended up doing it. Like I signed 20 customers last month, and I was like, oh, like I did do it. But it took like Laura like drilling into me. She's like, you got this, you got this. And I don't even know. Like,
no, that is just, it's so good. And I want you to know that like Laura knew it was going to happen from the first of the month. You just didn't know, but Laura knew it was going to happen. And I
was just going to settle for Emerald, and then I would try this month to go for Diamond. And if not.
It's so funny because I feel like you're just so like, I'm just going to work my business. And then you have Laura who's like, we're doing this. And but I think it's such a good thing that because you guys are local, because you guys hang out so often, you've learned how to feed off of Laura and her excitement. And I think that is the importance of having a local team. And I think that's something that you guys have, that is just, you guys get together and you work and you do team bonding. And I think that is a huge reason that, you know, your chart has grown the way that it is.
I never would have like believed myself or like put myself into it. Like if I hadn't have like grown a local team, because like now we can all meet up and like have the conversations like that we do and like push each other to go. Like if you don't have a local team, I definitely suggest like you try working on it, because now like we can, like we haven't in a long time, but we used to do like weekly meetups and just hang out at like Starbucks or like wherever and just chat. And it was nice because like we all understood where everyone was coming from instead of like everyone looking down on us, because like I experienced that a lot when I first joined. Everyone was like, you're not gonna do it, like you can't, like there's no way this is gonna happen for you. And I was like, if it happened to other people on this team, like I know I can be that.
No, that's so good. So your number one tip, not just for going Diamond, but like from enrolling 3 loyal customers to 20 plus in one, like what happened? Like what was different?
I just like put my head down and grinded. Like I just needed to like get over myself and like just push, because like I always said like, oh yeah, like I'm messaging 100 people a day, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and in reality I was messaging like 20 and getting only 2 numbers. Like we all know how that works. And I was so frustrated. I'm like, well, I'm putting in all this work, blah blah blah, and I really wasn't. So we started like this like chat promotion, like everyone who was like pushing for promotions and like seeing everyone work so hard for theirs. I was like, well, I'm gonna be them. Like she got a customer, I'm gonna beat it by 2. Like we just kept pushing each other, and it was so nice. And I think also like confiding in like my upline a lot with like everything. Like as soon as I enrolled someone, I was like, you tell me what to do. Like you know what's going on. Like talk to your enroller, because I think like that's the biggest thing. Like they're gonna like drive that mindset into you. They're gonna tell you how it is and where to go. And we all mean it. Like we don't mean it to be mean. It's just we know what we're talking about and what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. No, that was just so good. And you know, congratulations on Diamond. But I know that you're gonna be like triple next month. So like.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. You're the bomb. I just think you are such a cool human being, and I think that your story is really cool. And I feel like I've grown really close to you because of me and Laura's friendship. And I don't know if she told you, but you guys are making a pit stop in South Carolina on your way home from Florida. So I'll see you there.
I made that a demand.
Yeah, I'll take you out for some pretty good wings. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, we have 2 more. Where's Sarah? Where's my girl Sarah? You guys, I didn't plan for this to go this long, but I mean, you just know what happens when you get people talking and we just talk. So let me find her. Okay, Sarah, are you out there, my girl?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my Wi-Fi is really bad, so let me know if it starts cutting out, but I'm going to try to talk really fast. Okay, so I'm Sarah. I started with It Works in March of 2017. Yeah, so almost a year and a half ago now. I was first introduced to It Works in 2015. I tried the wraps. I was a loyal customer on and off for about 2 years. Asia's my enroller, so I signed up as an LC with her. Tried the wraps, really liked them. She tried to get me to join the business. a lot several times over that 2-year period. I just had absolutely no interest. I was getting my master's in education. That's like the field I really wanted to go into. I had a full-time office job. I was making good money. I just felt like I was in a good place. I just wasn't interested. I finally did join in March of 2017 because I was getting ready to go on a cruise that next month. I needed to order some wraps anyway, and it was a BOGO wrap deal in the Business Builder kit. So I saw her post about it. I'm like, oh, I could get 2 packs of wraps for $99 instead of like 1 for $59 as a loyal customer. So I'm just going to do that. So I signed up, wasn't really intending on working the business. But I felt guilty like telling Asia that. So she like sent me a post to put up and a message. So I put up my post. She gave me the message, and like we had been friends in high school, so I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So she's like, all right, send me screenshots. So I'm like, well, the only reason I can get her to like stop messaging me is if I like send her screenshots, she'll see that I tried and like realize that I'm not good at this, and I'll give up. So that was my plan. But then I started sending messages, started getting like a lot of really good responses. I signed my first 4 customers pretty quickly. And then at that point I was kind of like, all right, maybe I need to like do some research on what I just got myself into. So I did like all the research most people do before they join, started looking at like average income charts and stuff like that, reading the compensation plan. And when I looked at the average income chart, it made me realize that like maybe I wasn't in such a good financial place. I looked at like the ambassador income, $30,000 a month. Like I could pay off all my student loans in 2 months. So that's kind of crazy. And I felt like maybe I should just go all in and give it a try. So that's basically what I did. I started working what I felt like was hard from the beginning. It wasn't until about 6 months in I realized I hadn't been working that hard when I actually started working hard. But the turning point for me, I'm just going to like roll through these questions, but stop me. Okay, the turning point for me was in October of that year was when I promoted to Ruby. I had taken 2 months off of my business. I had finished my master's and started student teaching, which was a lot. Had some life stuff happen, so I just took 2 months off, came back in October. The only reason I came back was because the Christmas cash promo happened and I was student teaching, so I didn't have any income at all coming in. Like I was working in a school all day for free. So it was super stressful. So I decided to come back. I had promoted to executive, I think maybe my 3rd month in, and I'd maintained it even the months that I took off. So I knew my next goal was to get to Ruby. So the first thing I did was just pulled out a Ruby chart. I had 2 400 boxes in my top line that I could use. So I knew I just had to build a new executive. So I signed 3 distributors pretty quickly, signed 19 loyal customers that month. That was the first time I'd ever filled out my steps to success in the business, like ever. I'd never done that before. I needed like 560 in volume, I think, with 36 hours left in the month. And the distributors I'd signed that month weren't working. So I filled all that volume besides 30 BV by myself in the last 36 hours of the month. And then after that, it was just kind of like an aha moment for me. Like, oh my God, I can do this. Like,
Chrissy just said it in the
all I have to do.
Chrissy just said it in the chat about how you were at the cocktail party, top 100 point earner as a Ruby. I mean, and I'm just going to be honest, you literally came out of nowhere and then you just kept going. And we were like, she was just a Ruby at conference and like now she's a diamond. Like, oh my gosh, she's about to be double. Like you came out of nowhere and just.
Yeah. So it was crazy. I mean, and that's like all it was. Like the month that I went Ruby, I realized like, okay, this is what I have to do. Life for me. It was the only income I had coming in. So I was like desperate. I'm like, I'm going to do whatever I can to get those unlimited $100 bonuses. So that month, October, I promoted to Ruby. That was the first time I filled out my steps to success. And I've filled it out twice every month since then, at least. Some months I've done it 3 times. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me or is my Wi-Fi?
Yeah, no, you're good. I mean, you're good.
Okay. So, okay. I think it's just delayed. Okay. So after that, I knew I wanted to go Emerald, but it wasn't realistic for me to just try to fill the whole volume by myself to go Emerald. So when I started pushing for Emerald, I realized I needed to do a much better job of working with my team. So that's what I did. I started checking with my downline every single day. Every person on my Emerald chart, I messaged them and kind of like checked in, helped them set goals, and it worked really well. I had a lot of people working to fill volume, so I promoted to Emerald in February, and then started pushing for Diamond. But the thing I realized when I started pushing for Diamond was Diamond's a really big chart, and there's 24 people on it. On my Diamond chart, I think I personally enrolled like 22 or 23 of them.
Mhm.
So I was like trying to train all of these people by myself. I wasn't giving my team the opportunity to train their distributors. I was just taking it over. So I had all these distributors on my chart under leader boxes, but I'd never introduced them to each other. And the first week of the month that I was promoting to Diamond, I was on spring break. I was teaching full time at that point. So I had a week off, and I spent that week like really pouring into my team. And it was just crazy at how quickly volume was getting filled and how hard everyone was working. And then I kind of had like a panic attack on Sunday. I'm like, I have to go back to work tomorrow. Like, I can't spend 8-9 hours a day pouring into my team. Like, my leaders have to help me. So I asked my leaders to help. I got them all in a chat and asked them like, hey, do you guys want to be involved with training your teams? I'm going to start group chats with you and the people under you, and you'll be checking in with them every day. And I like didn't expect what happened, but my leaders were fired up. They were so excited that they like finally had the opportunity to work with their teams and to train them. And that was like the second aha moment for me. I had this mindset of like, well, I'm the mass enroller. Like, my team's not mass enrollers, so I'm going to be the one to train all the new distributors. And if any of you are like in that mindset right now, you need to get out of it, because it's not true. Like, even if, so the thing for me was my leaders weren't stepping up and acting like leaders because I wasn't treating them like leaders.
Mhm.
And as soon as I gave them that leadership opportunity and was like very clear with them what went into being a leader and what they should be doing every day, they started doing it. And all this momentum started happening on my team the month I went Diamond. I think I needed over 4,000 in volume, and it just like started getting filled out of nowhere. Like, I was signing up DTs that were getting themselves to the 400 club in like 2 weeks. Like, it was crazy, and I wasn't the one training them. My leaders were. So that's like probably my biggest tip is Diamond is not a rank that you can get to by yourself. And if you do, it's going to be really hard to maintain. You really have to work with your team. You really have to focus on building leaders and training your leaders to train their teams. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to build a sustainable business.
That is so good. And I always say that, you know, that was part of my journey. I am like natural born leader, but when I came in, my upline and her upline had like their own team page. Don't do that. They had like their own chat, and like, I didn't want to step on toes, and I didn't want to like, but I was like, dude, I have all these great ideas, and like my brain's going to explode, but what am I supposed to share them with the one person underneath me who quit 7 days ago? Like, I need to tell someone something. And my upline came to me and she was like, do you want to be a leader? Do you want to step up and lead your team? And that was it was January, and that was the month that I was like, yes. And sometimes your downlines do, when you have people, I feel like we're probably very much alike, Sarah, that like we have that red personality. I'm the same way, and Hope explained it in such a good way. She said, Allie, have you ever tried to hold sand in your hand? The tighter you squeeze, the more that falls out. It's the same thing with your business. If you're so suffocating that you need to have control of every single follow-up message that gets sent in the chat on Friday, and you need to know exactly when who's going to be on what training, like, you're suffocating. Like, let your leaders step up. And guess what? Your leaders, they're going to make mistakes, and they're probably going to tell their downlines to do something they probably shouldn't do, but it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be the end of the business, because how I got to where I was making mistakes and learning from them. And unfortunately, it's the same thing with like kids. Like, you tell them not to put their hand on the stove, but like until they put the hand on the stove and realize for themselves that they got burnt, sometimes that's how it is with our teams. And if we don't allow them the opportunity to grow into the leaders that we know they can be, then we can't get frustrated when, you know what I mean, they're not stepping up in chats, or they're not, you know, stepping up to reach out to their team. So that was so good. Sarah, you're about to be triple, so congratulations on that too. We know it's coming.
Thanks.
All right, last but very not least, Veronica, I have to find you. Hold on. Oh, girl, I'm really sorry that it took me this long to get to you, but it's going to be worth it. I'm so excited. So you just went Diamond last month, right?
Yes. Yes, I am Diamond now.
Oh!
I joined at the $10 deal. I think I'm one of the few left from the $10 deal.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and I joined for an extra $200. It's crazy though because I was following Kristen for months before that, and when she had told me about $99, I just couldn't justify it then. I didn't see the value in it then. So then when the $10 deal came along, I just knew it was kind of my calling that I needed to just do it then. So yeah, and it took me a year to go diamond.
Yeah.
But I do, and I do work full time as a dental assistant, some crazy hours. And at the time when I first joined, I was working part time too on the weekend because that was my extra income when I was working part time because I was living paycheck to paycheck. So thanks to the business, I was able to quit my part time job, and I still do full time dental assisting now. But I don't have to worry about my hours when the doctors aren't there or anything. So it's really great. I'm super excited.
That is
turn into 4 figures. Is crazy.
No, that's literally crazy. For the rest of your business, you'll be able to say like, I joined during the $10 deal. Like, I can't believe it's been a year since the $10 deal too, and it's just that's just so crazy. Okay, so like you said, you were working full time and part-time job on the side because you needed extra income. As far as like, that's kind of just what you were doing. You were going through the motions of paycheck to paycheck before this business.
Yeah, because just I make good money as a dental assistant, but when you have your rent and car and insurance and everything, like everything just adds up. So there's nothing left for extra, and I wanted extra to be able to like splurge on myself or to pay off debt. And so yeah, I just joined for that because I was seeing what it was doing for everybody else. And then also in the future, because I was following Kristen and just seeing she's able to stay at home with her babies, I was like, well, I want that too. If that ends up happening for me, then I want to be able to do that too. Not to worry about like going back to work, because I knew how much daycare was with all my friends that have kids. So I wanted a backup plan pretty much. So
no, that is so good. And now I have a question because I know Kristen went fast. She went so fast. Her and Courtney just like went fast. And so was there ever a time in your business where you found yourself comparing your journey to Kristen's? Because she did go so fast. I mean, was that something that you felt like you had to overcome, or were you just like, well, that was her, but this is me?
It definitely was. I thought about it a lot in the beginning, and it was like my boyfriend would always be saying, he's like, well, see, they're making this, but how come you're not yet? How come you're not yet? And I had definitely thought about that too, but I just still kept pushing. And from getting on trainings and Zooms and people saying everybody's journey is different and everything, then it was just my mindset. And I knew at some point it was going to be my time. And it just so happened, it just took me 6 months for me to kind of get in the right mindset. Because in January is really when I went executive, then I went Ruby in February, Emerald in March, and got the bonus, and then just went Diamond now. And I just think that it was meant to be my time, just like for when I joined for the $10 deal.
Yeah. Well, and I always like to think like there are people, and it's very common where you have people where they like don't really, their head's not in the game for 6 months. I say the same thing from September to January in the beginning of my business. Like I was doing what I needed to do, but I just like didn't really care that much about it. And it's funny because in reality, if you looked at it, you know, you really started working in January. So like, if you don't really count the previous 6 months, like you did pretty much go diamond in 6 months. You know what I mean? From when you decided to like intentionally sit down and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to make it happen. So that is fast. And I mean, I think it has something to say about momentum, which is I'm sure you had momentum on your team to be able to go from, you know, executive to diamond back to back to back, really. Like that is so, I love it.
Yeah, I think I caught the vision like in January. Like I believed it before then, like when I joined until January. But then like I really started believing it and really started manifesting it. Like I would have sticky notes all over the house and everything. And then that's really just when it like kind of took off, when I was really believing in myself and manifesting it. Yeah.
So that's kind of what made you decide to go all in, was just like knowing that, I mean, really just believing that you could do it, like, and manifesting.
Kind of just from all the trainings and everything, like I knew what I had my hands on. And so I was like, why not just like, go all in. I just need to believe in myself that I can do it.
Yeah. No, that's so good. So number one tip. I mean, okay, so I'm going to ask you because from executive to diamond, where do you feel like you had to grow the most, whether it was, enrolling or leadership or personal development? Where did you feel like was the biggest hurdle you had to get over to go from executive to diamond in 6 months?
Probably my mindset. And it was really more, it's like once you got to emerald, because you're, looking at that big chart, it's so much a little bit different than your ruby chart. And it's like, man, I need all these people. And it's just your positive mindset going into it and just thinking that you can do it. Because at first, even going emerald, I didn't really believe in it. And it took, Kristen just saying, we're going to do this. You can do this. And, just doing personal development and everything as well to do it, which, really helped. When I joined, I didn't think I needed, the friendships that you gain or the personal development that you end up doing. I didn't think I needed that. And I just felt a change in myself as well, which in return helped change my business.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that that's one of the biggest things. And I think that sometimes it may be hard for people to get the ball rolling to promote to executive and Ruby, but I swear promoting to executive and Ruby for me was like each time I promoted, I got more hungry and more excited and I wanted to promote again. I wanted to feel that rush of seeing eSuite change. And once you've gotten a taste of seeing eSuite change once, it's you're like, I want that. And I'm going to want that up until my 3.0 account is ambassador. it's just, I think that it's so crazy that everybody's talking about mindset, but at the end of the day, that's 10 stories from different people that literally all said, I just had to decide that I was actually going to do it. And I had to decide that I believed that I could do it. And so I'm so excited. And so now you're pushing for double. You're ready for double. You and your team are yes, we're going.
The prelims today, I'm just all right, I'm ready to go double now.
Oh yeah, because I keep forgetting that prelims drop just because so oh my gosh, you must have been
I was just crying earlier. It's okay.
Yeah, that first diamond paycheck.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out and for hanging. And I'm gonna get this training up on YouTube. But congratulations and thank you. Okay, you guys. So the numbers are starting to drop. I realize this did go 2 hours. I'm really sorry, but I'm not sorry because at the end of the day, my team chat is blowing up right now, talking about how inspiring this was, how much some of my girls needed this, and I know that everybody on here feels the same way because at the end of the day, it's the same thing I said earlier on my Facebook Live is that, everybody's journey is different. And honestly, I truly believe after hearing those stories, after hearing stories from everybody on our team, at the end of the day, when you figure out that you're willing to believe in yourself, when you decide that you're tired of throwing a pity party, when you decide that you're going to do it, it happens. Every single one of those girls said, I just had to decide that I was going to do it. I just had to I had to believe. And at the end of the day, you guys, I could sit here all day and tell you I believe in you because I do. I believe in every single one of you. But if you do not believe in yourself, your business is never going to have the momentum. And this is such a good analogy. But if you think of an airplane can't get off the ground unless it's going fast enough. Your business is not going to get off the ground unless you can suck it up, look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I don't know how, and I don't know who. I just know that it's going to happen. And I just know that I need to believe in myself. And I just need to, you guys, I wish that's one skill I wish I could give everybody is because you don't just wake up one day believing that you're worthy of diamond. You don't just wake up one day believing that you can fill a triple diamond chart. And I don't even, thinking about ambassador, just going to throw me into a tizzy. So I'm not going to talk about it. Well, at the end of the day, it's not about deciding, oh yeah, I want to go ambassador now. It's about doing that soul searching deep in your heart to believe that you have everything it takes to fill out an ambassador chart. And guess what, you guys? I don't know if I've soul searched enough to get there yet, okay? I'm working on triple right now. We're gonna work on triple, you know, work on your next rank. Pull out that chart, put it up on your wall, and decide that whether it's 5 people to go ruby or 24 to go diamond, you can do it. You just have to be super intentional about your actions, about your mindset, about what you're putting out into the universe, and the love you're pouring onto your team. So I love you guys all so much.